Hi, Tamal. Welcome to the Banking Show. We're talking, first of all, about the column this week where you've talked about the good run of the banks, but you've raised a question, how long will it last? So first of all, how long do you think this is going to last? And what are some of the big challenges going forward?
Oh, well, I wish I knew this. In fact, for the last few quarter, particularly the last quarter, which is quarter ending March in the fiscal year 2023, I thought that, well, we have seen the best, and from now on, it would the good run. There'll be difficult, there'll be challenges, but a good surprise. The latest quarter, June quarter also, is yet another quarter where the banking sector has done better than the previous quarter. How long it will last is difficult to say. Probably we'll see through this year because the concerns are, while the NII, that is net interest income, is pretty healthy, which is the backbone of banking operations, the income of banking operations. But there are concerns. One concern is the NIM, net interest margin. Has now started compressing for the most of the banks. What does it mean? That means their cost of fund is going up. Whether their ability to charge higher interest rate is restrained. Of course, there's a one-off incident like Reserve Bank of India has raised the CRR on a temporary basis. Following that, some of the banks have raised their interest rates. But overall, we presume, barring unforeseen circumstances, we have seen the highest level of interest rate. And from here, of course, it will stay here for quite some time and then it will go down. So banks' ability to raise interest rates, the lending rate is not that high, but their banks' cost of money is going up. How does it going up? You see that CASA, which is a low-cost current and saving account, for the most bank has gone down, which means the depositors are shifting money from CASA to fixed deposit to earn more. And of course, they are also shifting to mutual fund. That's a separate story. And other factor is this: while lending rate, the moment you charge, you raise your loan rates, it's just effective immediately. But the deposit rates can take effect only, higher deposit rates can affect only at the end of the current maturity of the deposits. So as more and more deposits get repriced, banks' cost also goes up.
And do you see the story is similarly playing out for both public and private sector banks, or do you see some differences?
Well, if you see, this is a very interesting question. Public sector banks' profits are higher in terms of growth. I'm talking about growth. At the back of public sector banks' profitability, profit growth is higher than the private banks. Public sector banks, both net as well as operating profit going up. When it comes to NII, that is the net interest income, both are on a sort of even place. Both of them almost the same, similar. I'm just talking about both, not in absolute number. But we must remember that when it comes to provision, public sector banks actually doing far less provision than private banks. Actually, this quarter public sector provision has gone down. Private bank still up, but little less. Overall, public sector banks NPA, both gross and net, for many banks are higher than most private banks. So it's difficult to say, but the fresh slippages, I understand, is both. It's true about both sets of banks, and the shrinkage in NIM and CASA are both true of both sets of banks. So I don't think there is much to distinguish between, because typically public sector banks are less savvy when it comes to risk management, underwriting, etc. But I think in the past, after Reserve Bank of India's special audit, that AQR, they have become wiser, and so there is nothing much to distinguish between. Of course, there are banks and there are banks. Among the public sectors, some of them will be pretty strong. Similarly, among the private sector, again, many of them pretty strong.
On August 17th, the rupee hit an all-time low after it closed at around 83.15 against the dollar. Now, the currency has come under some pressure. What do you think are the implications of this?
Well, implication is this: you see, the dollar index is gaining strength of late, and it started with Chinese currency going down, and rupee has been faring better than all the other Asian currencies. So that's the background. Yes, rupee has slipped beyond 83. Will it come back to 82 and 82 plus, etc.? I don't know. That's a matter of, we need to watch out for. But we need not be unduly concerned about this. I understand, I cannot vouch for it. Reserve Bank of India is selling dollar because Reserve Bank of India's forex kitty is pretty handsome, not an issue at all. So we can manage that. Probably rupee will find a new level, which is lower than the previous level. But we would not be undue worried. But the implication, if you ask me, the combination of currency, what's happening in currency, and if rupee goes down further, and the high inflation, what we have seen, pressure will be on RBI and the MPC on the rate side, because what Reserve Bank of India has been saying that, well, the inflation is temporary, and we are keeping a very close watch. We are ready to do everything as and when it's required. And there are not the rate alone, there are multiple instruments in the custody of Reserve Bank of India. One of them is that very temporary CRR that they raised. But if rupee keeps on slipping, which it will not, and a high inflation, that will put pressure.
There is a drop in a net interest margin of banks, which is of concern. And as you said, there will be implications of the fall if rupee, and RBI will face some pressures. We will see what the monetary policy holds for us next. And of course, we will discuss that with you when that happens. Thank you so much, Tamal, for joining us today. So nice to chat with you. See you next week.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. I am the inspiration that lets success soar high. I will achieve, I will fly high. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank, SBI, the banker to every Indian.